Have you started to feel it yet?
What did you do to me?
Just a special relaxant to make things easier on both of us.
Really want to start with congratulations on this. You guys did a great job. I was very trying to figure it all out, how it was all going to go, and I thought it all. Anyway, it's very good.
Thank you.
So I'm throwing some curveballs at the beginning because I have a few extra minutes. So I'm going to start with you. Early in the career, what do you remember about doing Sweet Life of Zach and Cody?
Oh my God, are we doing throwbacks today?
Yeah. Cool. Oh yeah, and then I'm going with you. You got to, like all actors in New York, got to do an episode of Law and Order, and you got to do SVU. So what was it like early in the career getting that call? Because it's like a coming of age thing. You know what I mean? Everyone does.
Rite of passage.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
Oh God. All right. Let me search that far back into my brain. That was amazing because I think Jaden Smith, he guest starred on my episode. So I remember sitting down for the table read and Will Smith came and sat next to me and I was, 15 or something. So I was just like, oh my God, what's happening? And he was, yeah, exactly. I was like, this is so cool. And he was just a great dad and support to Jaden because I think it was one of his first gigs. And cool. Being on a sitcom like that was just, it's kind of a nostalgic American medium. So I loved it.
Were you on one episode or you were on the whole thing?
I did an episode of
Just one
of Sweet Life. Yeah.
Cool.
Your turn.
Law and Order.
And you?
Yeah.
Mariska.
Mariska's great.
The Queen.
What I love, the memory I have of doing Law and Order was in the interrogation room, I saw Ice-T turn to the AD and say, "Could I have an iced tea?" And I was like, no one sees this and no one laughs. They just, obviously he drinks iced tea all the time, but I was like, this is a moment. And no one else appreciated the irony that just like, this is happening. No one cared but me. I'd agree. That's all I remember. We can move on. No, I had a great time. I loved doing SVU. I was doing this. I had just started this regimen where I was going to do Unbroken, Angelina Jolie's movie, and I had to start losing weight. So you'll see in that movie I look kind of weird, like I look just like a smaller version of myself. And I was like, I had lost like the first 15 pounds.
Oh dang.
It was uncomfortable, and the craft service table at Law and Order was so delicious. There were so many donuts, and I couldn't touch anything.
Oh my God, I want to be on Law and Order.
Yeah, the crafty is good there.
When you think about all your work, all the things you've done, what scene or sequence ended up being the toughest of your career thus far in terms of like a oneer, camera move, dialogue? Is there something you can remember?
Oh gosh. Okay. Maybe, Wind River, the opening of Wind River is, I had to run barefoot in the snow. In the wides, I was able to wear skin-colored, like, Vibram. And then in some of the close-ups, I had to do barefoot.
Whoa.
So they, like...
Was it cold?
It was really cold. Yeah. And before that, I kept Googling, like, what does frostbite look like? Just to make sure I was good. Wow. Yeah, so maybe that sequence was... Yeah. Okay, you. Your turn.
I guess I'll say in American Horror Story, in Freak Show, there's a sequence where I'm covered in Matt Bomer's blood, like happens sometimes. But I was like in my tighty whities and like covered in blood. My God. But the way they shot, like, and there's like the sequence where I'm walking through the woods, and then I'm like in a different part of the woods, and then I'm going into my mom's house. So it's like a long sequence, but they shot it completely out of order, and so it would be like the end of the day on Tuesday. I would shoot it one scene of me walking, and then 3 days later shoot the next. So every time I had
match the blood.
I had to match the blood and be in my tighty whities and covered in blood. And also, it was in this like the swamps of New Orleans, and the blood was like sticky and made of some kind of sugar thing. So the bugs just started being really interested in me, and I just had to like the crew was just like, "You're always in your tighty whities covered in blood." It's been a long time, yes.
Yeah, there's nothing, no. I say no to that.
Yeah.
No.
Walking off.
That's a pass for me.
So jumping into this film, talk a little bit about like what were some of the unique challenges for each of you in terms of making this as actors, if there were any?
So what's funny is, well, I mean, the paralysis is obviously plays a big part in this movie, but really I think the thing that scared me the most was in that first scene when I'm on the cliff, because I'm scared of heights. And so we were right on the edge of the cliff.
Yes.
There was a little kind of platform underneath us, but for the most part, I was just dangling over there.
Yeah.
So we did have a harness, but it was a really, especially on your first
a long
day,
way down.
you're already nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like the
Sounds
previous
maybe.
thing. No.
Yeah.
No,
Should have said
absolutely
no
not.
right then
Yeah.
and there.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. What's the I what I loved about the script was that it was like so much of it was two people in a car or in the woods, and it kind of felt like a weird two-handed play. And I loved the sort of challenge of mapping out their whole trajectory and their whole arc, and how it is predator prey, cat and mouse, but then it sort of changes and deepens and gets weirdly intimate.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we answered two different questions, but that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, no. Yeah, sorry, I went literal.
Yeah, no, that's right. But that was like the cool
like, the cliff was
challenge
cool.
of, yeah, no, this shit was terrifying.
All I remember, the thing I took away from the film, the most important thing is it just reminded me why I don't go to the woods alone. Like, for real.
Exactly. I think that's a great lesson.
Yeah,
to
that's what you should take
from
away from this.
movie.
Yeah, there's no chance. Let's talk about the water sequence.
Okay.
Yeah, so what the hell was that like?
Yeah, that was wild. It was I was strapped into a harness that would with a bunch of Bulgarian scuba divers surrounded me, and it was actually kind of fun with the rapids. It was fun, but
It moved fast though. It was like a little current.
fighting natural instinct to move was it is one of those things where you're just like, what do I do for a living?
Yeah.
Yeah, again, these are things, this is why I can't be an actor. I couldn't stay still. You know what I mean?
Right.
I give you guys a lot of credit because, anyway. So, did
Good
you-
editing.
Did you film? How much of this did you get to film in order, and how much was it sort of like the way you was on Horror Story, where you just shooting? You know what I mean?
Oh, do y'all shoot really out of order?
Often, yeah.
Okay.
It's just sort of the nature of it.
Yeah,
But this was
yeah.
they tried to do a lot of this in sequence.
Yeah.
Like I know the first scene was the first day, and the last scene was the last day.
Yeah, I think so.
In the middle there, like the cabin was a little out of place, but a lot of it because we didn't like really. Only a couple times are we in the same location more than once, so they could kind of go sort of with the story and sort of track it as we
Yeah,
went.
I
So that
think-
was really helpful, I
yeah.
thought, with in terms of in terms of that like arc of their relationship, like
Yeah.
where they were and where they're going, and how they see each other in a different way.
No.
When you saw the shooting schedule, what day did you have circled in terms of I can't wait to film this, and what day was like how the f are we going to film this?
I would say it was originally there was in the scene with the lake. We were going to shoot that in a water tank,
Oh yeah, that's right.
and I haven't done water
Didn't
tank.
you practice in a
And so,
water tank?
so I was practicing for this water
Like
tank.
hours. I remember
And
that.
I was
Kelsey's still in the tank.
Oh my god. She's still in the tank. Yeah, and then we ended up doing it practically. So
Yeah.
I didn't have to worry all those days about that shoot. But yeah, that was the circle for sure.
I remember I was excited to see the car crash and like to do
yeah.
I really liked the way that they choreographed the fight inside the car. I thought that was really cool, sort of contained fight. But then also this guy, the stunt guy, careened this car into a tree for real, strapped in, boom, definitely like 40 miles an hour
Yeah.
at least, and then just walks out and like
He's
gets
like,
a car and goes
"Good."
home. It's like, that guy's cool.
Welcome to Bulgaria.
Yeah, exactly. They make it differently over there.
You know what I mean? So I'm curious, what is it like actually playing someone who's drugged, and the challenges of not moving? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, so our directors are their childhood best friends, and they have another friend that became an anesthesiologist, and we spoke with her, and she kind of walked us through a real life drug and what it would look and feel like. So we started there. I realize I'm terrible at telling stories because that started. You're like, where are you going with this?
I was actually following along. It was
Bless you, bless you.
you know, but I also paid $5 to just say you're doing great.
Thank Thank you. It was like it all started in Minnesota.
Yes, they were born.
Yeah, they were born. They became
two
best friends.
children.
And but yeah, so I think the research kind of started there, and then when we're on the day when we're in the location and working with our great cinematographer Zach Cooperstein of how the paralysis will translate literally. So it's a kind of a mix of the two.
I have to stop there. I'm just going to say thank you for indulging my early questions and congrats on the movie. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you
Thank you
so
so much.
much.